Hey, what's up, everybody? Just wanted to make another video with current news and updates on RGBA. Today, January 11th, in San Antonio, Golden Boy Promotions will be holding a card. Jaime Munguia and Gary O'Sullivan are the main event. On the undercard from RGBA San Antonio, Joshua Franco and Hector Tanajara. It sounds like the Zone sells the rights to the fight to Box Azteca. And here you can see Julio Cesar Chavez and his team will be working broadcasting and commentary on the fight. Joshua El Profesor Franco, 15-1-2. He's from San Antonio. He pro debuted in 2015. He's been with Robert his entire career. He's promoted by Golden Boy Promotions. He's the current WBA International and NABF Bantamweight champion. He usually competes at 118. For this fight, he came down to 115. He weighed in at 114.8, and his opponent, Jose El Niño Burgos, 17-2-0, came in, I believe, at 114.2. So Joshua El Profesor Franco, 15-1-2, coming down to super flyweight on January 11th here in San Antonio at the Alamo Dome. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at @1ProfessorFranco. Here you see a picture of him that he posted on his Instagram working out along with his brother, a Southpaw 108 fighter at 210 Bam Rodriguez. They worked through the holidays in order for both of them to fight early in the year. If you want to follow Bam, he's at 210 Bam. Hector Tanajara, 18-0, also from San Antonio, also has been a professional fighter for going on 4 years now. I believe he turned pro in 2015 in August, along with Josh Franco and Jonathan Navarro. He's the current WBA. He's the current WBC youth champion. And for this fight, he got some sparring there in San Antonio versus Kendo Castañeda, who happens to be 17-0 and the current WBA NABA world champion. Hector's opponent, is Juan Carlos Burgos. And his record is 33-3-2, and his last fight was 14 months ago, and it was a 10-round unanimous loss decision to Devin Haney, who at the time was 19-0. That fight was in Temecula, California. The two most notable names on Burgos' resume are Mikey Garcia and Rocky Martinez. Hector captured the WBC Youth Lightweight Championship in February of last year, defeating Ivan Delgado in Tijuana, and he defended it once in August on the undercard of Vergil Ortiz in Grand Prairie, Texas. If you want to follow Hector Tanajara, he's at Hector_Tanajara. And then two other fighters that are managed by Robert Garcia. Joseph Adorno, 14-0, 12 knockouts, a very good prospect on a lot of people's awards of 2019. He was Prospect of the Year. So he's scheduled to fight today, Saturday, January 11th. He's a top-ranked promoted fighter at the Hard Rock Hotel in Atlantic City. And then along with his brother, Sonny Conto, Rob Brandt from Dallas. And the main event is Jesse Hart versus Joe Smith. If you want to follow Joseph Adorno, he's at Real Joseph Adorno on Instagram. So his opponent is Hector Garcia, 14-7-3. And Hector's last fight was in October in Ontario on a Thompson promoted fight card. Versus Golden Garcia, who was 11-0 at the time. They fought to a draw. Two notable names on Hector's record are a fight with Devin Haney in April of 2017 and an 8-round fight against Burgos in September of 2017, an 8-round fight. So this will be a good measuring stick to see how more developed Joseph is. And then his brother, Jeremy Magic Hands Adorno, will be fighting Fernando Ibarra de Anda, who's 2-2, and he lost his last fight in Fresno. He lost his pro debut against another RGBA fighter, Robert Biggie Rodriguez, and he's had 2 wins since then, and then of course his loss in Fresno. So if you want to follow Jeremy Magic Hands Adorno, you can follow him at MagicHands_J. Jeremy. He is 3-0. Also promoted by Top Rank along with his brother. Alfredo Escarcega posted on his Instagram that he has a fight scheduled for January 18th. As of now, it's not listed on BoxRec, so I'll be looking out for that. If you want to follow Alfredo Escarcega, he is at ae.jr. He was introduced to RGBA as a sparring partner for Mikey. Alfredo is a southpaw, as Mikey was preparing for Errol Spence Jr. last March. He's fought in a couple Garcia promoted events here in San Bernardino. He is from Phoenix, Arizona, and trains out of F1 Boxing Gym. At ae.jr if you want to follow him on Instagram. Alexis El Macizo Espino is 4-0. He's got 2 knockouts. He's fought twice in Mexico. He's fought once in Las Vegas and once in Maryland, if I'm not mistaken. And he is promoted by Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing. He's a middleweight. He resides in Las Vegas, Nevada, and he's scheduled to fight January 30th. I believe that's a Thursday in Miami, Florida, before the Super Bowl. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at _ Alexis Espino 1. Brandon Bulletproof Glanton, 11-0, 9 knockouts. His last fight was canceled. I believe he was scheduled to fight on the Gervonta Tank Davis versus Yuyurkis Gamboa card in Atlanta. And for some reason or another, his fight was canceled, and he's moved on to another TGB promoted event February 1st in Biloxi, Mississippi. He is managed by Mikey Garcia Promotions, at Team Bulletproof on Instagram if you want to follow him. I believe he's a cruiserweight or a heavyweight. Jesse Bam Rodriguez, 10-0, 6 knockouts. Here you can see his trainer, Pita Garcia, posted, don't forget, the GOAT is on the card with Mikey Garcia, February 29th, there in Frisco, Texas. He is 10-0. He's a southpaw. He fights at 108, and he is promoted by Tekken Promotions. He's the only RGBA fighter promoted by Akihiko Honda on Tekken Promotions. He is the younger brother to Joshua Franco. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at 210BAM. Jose Carlos Ramirez, 25-0, 17 knockouts. He is scheduled to fight in China versus his mandatory Victor Postol. He's the current WBC and WBO champion. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at JC Ramirez 2012. 25-0, 17 knockouts from Avenal, California, from the Fresno area. And he posted on his Instagram via Lance Pugmire. Ramirez tells me his priority is to go after Josh Taylor and capture the 4 belts at 140, and then go after Terrence Crawford if he's still the champion at 147. Jose Carlos Ramirez's last 6 opponents are Victor Postol, Maurice Hooker, Jose Chon Cepeda, Antonio Rosco, Amir Iman, and Mike Reed. He is promoted by Top Rank, and he is managed by Rick Merizian. Esquiva Falcao will be joining Jose Ramirez in China, and he will be fighting a Chinese fighter with a very good record. I didn't put his name on here, but it's listed already on BoxRec, his opponent. He's looking for a title at 160. He was keeping his eye on Rayato Murata, but Top Rank got another fighter for him lined up. Esquiva Falcao, he's an Olympian. He's undefeated. He fights at 160. He's from Brazil. He's been with Robert his entire professional career. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at Esquiva Falcao. Saul Neno Rodriguez, 23-1-1, is back with Team RGBA. He will be fighting. He will be the headliner on the night before Mikey fights Jesse Vargas in Frisco, Texas. The Garcia Promotions will be holding an event there at the Southern Junction nightclub in Irving, and we'll see if he fights at 130 or 135. Team _Neno. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he was with Team RGBA for 19 of his first professional fights, and then he made a move to Mayweather Promotions for a brief period and now he's back with Top Rank, and now there's a possibility that he might not be with Top Rank either as well. So at team_Neto if you want to follow him on Instagram. Robert Vergil Rodriguez has also joined that Garcia promoted event there on the Friday, February 28th, before Mikey's fight. He's 7-0, 3 knockouts. He's from San Antonio. He fights at 112. He's a flyweight. At BiggieJR_ if you want to follow him on Instagram. Brandon B-Fly Macias, 6-0. He will be fighting on that February 28th card there in Irving, Texas. He is from F1 Boxing Gym in Phoenix, Arizona. Resides in Goodyear, Arizona. He fights at bantamweight, 118, if I'm not mistaken. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at B_Fly301. Mikey Garcia, 39-1, 30 knockouts. He is scheduled to fight Jesse Vargas. And his last 6 opponents have been Errol Spence, Robert Easter, Sergey Lipinets, Adrian Broner, Dejan Slatikinin, and Elio Rojas. And before his 2-year hiatus, his last opponent was Burgos. Josesito Lopez, 37-8. He has been seen back in the gym. He has liked the options that he's hearing in terms of fight names for him, and he shared that via ES News. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at Jose Lopez. Erick DeLeon, 19-0. He's got 1 draw. That draw came against Andy Vences a couple years ago. And he pretty much stays in shape year-round. Very talented fighter. And if you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at Team DeLeon1. Jackson El Phoenix Marinez improved to 19-0. He fought on the undercard of Tank Davis versus Yuyurkis Gamboa. You can follow him at _Phoenix if you want to follow him on Instagram. He's a super lightweight. I believe he's independent. Carlos Caballo Bronco Adames is 18-1. He suffered the first loss of his career versus Patrick Tejeda. So we are waiting for his return. At Caballo Bronco if you want to follow him on Instagram. He fights at 154. He's a top rank fighter. Jonathan Thunder Navarro, 17-0, 9 knockouts. His last fight was October 24th. And he had a good performance, is what Pita said. So we'll see what his next fight holds for him. At Thunder Navarro, if you want to follow him on Instagram, he fights at 140. He's a Golden Boy promoted fighter. Vergil Ortiz Jr., 15-0, 15 knockouts. He had a fantastic performance against Brad Solomon there at the Fantasy Springs Casino in Indio, California on December 13th. So we'll see if he gets a world title fight in 2020. At Vergil Ortiz, if you want to follow him on Instagram. At Vergil Ortiz Sr., if you want to follow his dad on Instagram. Carlos Licona, 15-1. At Mexicanito 12, if you want to follow him on Instagram. He is making a comeback this next year. He lost his title in February, and he's had 1 fight in Mexico since. Carlos Licona fights at 108, world champion. John El Terrible Bauza, 13-0. We'll see what's next for him. At Real John Bauza, if you want to follow him on Instagram. He's a top-ranked promoted fighter. He fights at 140. Louie Coria, 12-2-0. He was scheduled to fight Adam Lopez there on the undercard in Las Vegas. But Oscar Valdez's opponent came in overweight, well over 10 pounds overweight. So Louie was asked to step aside, and Adam Lopez was brought in to fight Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez was knocked down once in the fight and then turned it up and stopped his opponent in Adam Lopez. So if you want to follow Louie Coria, 12-2-0, he's at King Louie 416, and I believe he called out a fighter from the UK by the name of Isaac Lowe. So we'll see what's next for Louie Coria from Moreno Valley. Lindolfo Delgado is back in Riverside in training. He's 11-0 with 11 knockouts. He is a Mexican Olympian promoted by Richard Schaefer's Ringstar Sports. At Lindolfo Delgado on Instagram if you want to follow him. Misael El Chino Rodriguez will be back next week via ES News. 10-0, 5 knockouts. Another decorated Olympic fighter out of Mexico from Chihuahua, at Misael Otee, if you want to follow him on Instagram. Aaron, the Silencer McKenna, 10-0. Will be back in the States soon to give some sparring to Mikey Garcia as he prepares for Jesse Vargas. He is a fighter promoted by Golden Boy Promotions. At Aaron MCK99 if you want to follow him on Instagram. Rey Danger Muratalla, 9-0, 6 knockouts. There's a possibility that he might be signed. He might be signed by a major promoter soon. He's been on Golden Boy cards. He's been on Top Rank cards. If he doesn't get signed, he'll stay independent, and there's a possibility he might be on Mikey Garcia's card versus Jesse Vargas there in Frisco, Texas on February 29th. He is a local fighter from Fontana, California. You can follow him at Ray_Muratalla1. Jose Ruben Rodriguez, 9-1. He suffered his first loss last year. There at the StubHub, what's now the Dignity Health Sports Park. He is from Indio. He pretty much, I think he fought 7 times in the year of 2019. He fights at 140, so we'll see what his comeback looks like. If you want to follow him on Instagram, he's at RubenNR_. Genaro Alcorn De Gama, 9-1, was in a pretty bad car accident. He's got either staples or stitches on the back of his head, so 2019 will be a comeback year for him. He's from San Diego. He fights at 140. He was fighting at 135, made the move to 140 against Luis Feliciano. And then he's from San Diego. You can follow him at Genaro Gamez on Instagram. He's a Golden Boy promoted fighter. Aaron Morales, 8-0, 3 knockouts. He is from he's from Oklahoma. He fights on a lot of TGB promoted fight cards on PBC. And we'll see what's next for him in 2020 at Aaron_Morales. Isidro Ochoa, 7-1. He suffered his first loss of his career in Las Vegas on the Tyson Fury undercard. At IGO_Ochoa, if you want to follow him on Instagram, I believe he fights at 122. Isidro Ochoa, 122 for Top Rank. Evan Sanchez signed with Golden Boy Promotions. He's scheduled to fight on the undercard of Ryan Garcia on February 14th in Anaheim. Evan Sanchez from the Central Valley RGBA, 6-0, 4 knockouts. At Real Evan Sanchez if you want to follow him on Instagram. Ivan Garcia from Paris, the Riverside area in California, 5-0, 5 knockouts. I believe he fights at 118. We'll see what's next for him in 2019 at Ivan_Garcia if you want to follow him on Instagram. Stevie Hitman McKenna. He is 4-0. I believe he's the older brother to Aaron McKenna. We'll see what's next for him at Stevie_McKenna if you want to follow him on Instagram. They're soon to be in the States. They're both, him and his brother, are both promoted by Golden Boy Promotions. Isaac Colunga, if you want updates on Isaac Colunga, you can follow him at Team_Colunga or his mom at Carrie Colunga, his aunt Shelly_Shell12 or family friend Dodger Girl 19. There was 6 Garcia promoted events in the year of 2019, and from what Mikey's saying, there's probably going to be another 6 to 8, and possibly even 10 shows for Garcia Promotions in different cities all over the states. So look out for that. And their CEO of Garcia Promotions is Zeferino Ramirez. So this is the first quarter of 2020. There's 4 fights scheduled today, Saturday, 2 in Atlantic City, 2 in San Antonio. There is another fighter who got support from RGBA. He goes by Hector Valdez. I believe it's El Travieso. I believe he's 10-0. I'm pretty sure RGBA will be in his corner too. I believe he's a friend of Joshua Franco, and he's fought on a card there in Texas with RGBA in the past. So technically, RGBA will have 3 fights in San Antonio and 2 in Atlantic City. Please like and subscribe. I'm Sontel Media on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter at Sontel_Media. You can follow me on Instagram, Sontel_Media. Thanks for watching. More videos coming soon.